While organizing tax documents, I discovered my wife's bank statements. She'd been siphoning money from our children's college funds for 5 years to buy her lover, a house just 20 minutes away. $167,000 gone. I smiled and said nothing, continued planning our anniversary trip, and made one phone call. This morning, my phone started receiving her increasingly desperate voice messages. So I'm sitting here at my kitchen table at 2 a.m., surrounded by piles of paper trying to keep my shit together. I keep reading the same bank statement over and over. $167,842.76. $167,842.76. That's how much my wife Caroline stole from our kids' college funds. Let that sink in. This all started 3 days ago. Tax season, right? Caroline was at her leadership retreat for the weekend. Yeah, one of those weekend work things she's been doing more and more lately. Left me with the kids, which is cool. Megan, 16, and Jake, 14, are good kids. I decided to get ahead on our taxes. We keep our important documents in one of those fireproof safes in our bedroom closet. Nothing fancy, just practical. I'm digging through folders, mortgage stuff, insurance policies, the usual boring adulting papers, when I find this envelope I've never seen before. It's got CF Bank stamped on it, but we don't use CF Bank. At least I don't. Open it up and it's statements for an account in Caroline's name. No big deal, people have separate accounts sometimes, but then I see a withdrawal from last month. $2,500 transferred to something called College Trust. That caught my attention because our kids' college funds are with Fidelity, not whatever this was. Now I'm curious. I dig deeper, find more envelopes, more statements. Going back 5 years, same pattern. Money going into this account and then chunks getting pulled out to this college trust. But our kids' actual college accounts haven't seen deposits from Caroline. I checked the Fidelity app on my phone just to be sure. Nope, only my contributions show up. That's when I started making a spreadsheet. Call me a nerd, but I tracked every transaction. First withdrawal, January 2020. Last one, 2 weeks ago. Total, $167,842.76. Our kid's future, gone. Had to step away from the computer. Went outside, sat on the deck. We're not rich. That money came from overtime shifts, side gigs, tax returns, birthday money from grandparents. Years of saying no to things we wanted so our kids could have options we never had. I didn't confront her when she got home Sunday night. Something in me just froze. She came in all smiles, talking about team-building exercises and how her boss Lila was considering her for a promotion. I just nodded, asked normal questions. Meanwhile, my brain was doing the math on how many weekends she's been training over the past year. 13 fucking weekends. Monday morning, I called in sick. Never do that. Waited until she left for work, then started searching. Found her laptop password. It's Jake's birthday, FFS. She'd been searching Zillow for houses, had messenger convos with someone saved as Work L. Lots of heart emoji. Plans to meet at what they called our place. The GPS history on her car, thank you Toyota app, showed frequent trips to a neighborhood about 20 minutes away. Nice area. Not millionaire nice, but definitely better than ours. So Tuesday, I followed her, told her I had a late meeting. Instead, I was parked down the street watching her pull into the driveway of a gray two-store with black shutters. Nice landscape. She used a key and walked right in like she owned the place. I waited. 2 hours later, some dude comes home. Tall guy, designer glasses, driving a Lexus. Harold. I recognized him from Caroline's Instagram. He was in a group photo from her office holiday party last year. He's got his arm around her waist. They kiss in the doorway before going inside. So I did what any rational person would do. I looked up the property records online. House was purchased 3 years ago. Owner, Harold Matheson and Caroline Matheson. My wife bought a house with another man using our children's college money. I sat in my car thinking about the 17 years we've been married. The pregnancy scares, job losses. That time Jake broke his arm and we were drowning in medical bills. All the times we sat at our kitchen table moving numbers around, trying to squeeze blood from a stone. And all that time she was building a life with someone else using money meant for our kids. You ever feel like your blood is actually boiling? Like physically hot under your skin? That's what happened. But then something weird clicked in me, a calm I've never felt before. Crystal fucking clarity. I drove home, poured myself a whiskey, and started making plans. Wednesday morning, I transferred my next paycheck to the kids' accounts. Made a call to my buddy Sam, who works at Caroline's office. Asked some casual question. Found out Caroline and Harold have been a thing for years. Everyone knows. Everyone but me. Then, I did the most important thing. I messaged Caroline that we should do something special for our anniversary. Said I'd been saving up. She seemed surprised but happy. Sent back one of those heart eye emojis. I booked us a weekend at that fancy hotel downtown, the one with the rooftop pool that costs more per night than my first car. Made dinner reservations at that place where they cook in front of you and charge you extra for it. Started talking about it at dinner last night, watching her face as I described the suite I reserved. She tried to seem excited, but I caught it. That flicker of panic in her eyes, probably wondering how I could afford it when we're supposedly broke, or maybe wondering how she'll explain to Harold why she's unavailable that weekend. This morning, I saw her checking her phone, texting rapidly before hiding the screen when I walked into the kitchen. She told me she's got another weekend training thing coming. I just smiled and asked if she wanted me to make her coffee before she left. She seemed relieved I didn't question it. After she left, I made one call, just one. Then, I took the day off to work from home. Been sitting here organizing everything into folders, bank statements, property records, screenshots, GPS logs, everything neatly labeled and timestamped. Our anniversary is in 18 days. I've got a special gift planned. You better believe it's not what she's expecting. My phone just buzzed. It's an email confirmation for our hotel booking, non-refundable. I hit confirm and smiled. The kids will be at my sister's that weekend. Caroline doesn't know that part yet. She has no idea what's coming. Wait, my phone's ringing. It's Caroline. That's weird. She never calls during work hours. I'm letting it go to voicemail. I think the dominoes are already starting to fall. Update 1. Update to my previous post about finding out my wife stole $167,842.76 from our kids' college funds to buy a house with her side piece day 18 of watching Caroline text her lover while sitting across from me at dinner. $167,842.76 stolen from our children. Each day, I tighten the noose a little more. That voicemail I mentioned last time? Caroline calling to check if I was feeling better since I took the day off. I could hear the nerves in her voice. Later found out from Sam that Harold had called in sick too. Apparently, my one phone call shook something loose already. About that call, I reached out to Edriel, Harold's wife. Yeah, plot twist. This dude is married too. Found her on Facebook connected to Harold's profile with one of those happy 10th anniversary to my best friend posts from last year. Sent her a vague message asking to talk about something important regarding Harold. We met at a Starbucks across town. Adriel's not what I expected. Thought she'd be some meek doormat, but she's sharp. Works in banking. When I laid out what I'd found so far, not everything, just enough, she didn't cry or freak out, just pulled out her phone, opened her banking app, and started checking things. Turns out Harold's been telling her they're broke despite him making good money. Classic two-timer move, playing both sides. I've built a Google sheet tracking every cent Caroline stole. Date, amount, where it came from, where it went, color-coded by year. 5 years of systematic theft. Added a column for the interest that money should have earned sitting in our kids' accounts. Current total, with lost interest, $198,457.32. You better believe I'm getting back every penny. Went to see Frank, my buddy who does financial advising. Asked hypothetical questions about what happens when one spouse steals from joint accounts or children's funds. Got some interesting answers about legal recourse, documentation needed, etc. Started moving my paychecks to a new account Caroline doesn't know about. Changed all my passwords. Set up 2FA on everything. The real goldmine was finding property records online. Caroline and Harold co-own that house. Her name is literally on the mortgage. They use $167K of our money as the down payment on a $450K house. Been making payments from their regular salaries for 3 years. That house has appreciated too. Zillow estimates it at $520K now. So my kid's stolen college fund is just sitting there in home equity while they're playing house? Adriel and I have compared notes 3 times now. We're both recording everything. She found sketchy withdrawals from their accounts too. Harold told her they were for home repairs and investments. Nope. Furniture and trips with my wife. Meanwhile, I've been turning up the psychological heat at home. Left a college brochure on the counter. Caroline got all quiet when she saw it. Asked Jake about his future plans at dinner. He wants to do engineering at State. Caroline started talking about community college being a smart financial choice. I just stared at her and said nothing for like 10 seconds. You should have seen her squirm. The kids know something's up. Megan asked if Mom and I were fighting. I just told her adults sometimes have complicated things to work through. Hate keeping them in the dark, but they don't need this stress during finals. Got a lawyer on standby. Not filing yet. Timing matters. But everything's prepped. The real chess move was recording Caroline's hours. She told me she's working late Tuesdays and Thursdays plus those weekend trainings. I've been tracking her location through our family sharing app. She's not at the office during those times. She's at the gray house with Harold. Called her office once during her late shift. Receptionist said she'd left hours ago. That's time card fraud on top of everything else. Last week I accidentally left my laptop open with a tab about penalties for embezzlement visible. Caroline saw it while bringing me coffee. Her hand was shaking so bad she spilled some. Asked what I was researching. Told her it was for a podcast I've been listening to. The look on her face, priceless. Anniversary trip is 9 days away now. Caroline tried to get out of it yesterday. Said maybe we should save the money instead. I told her it's all paid for, non-refundable. Reminded her we deserve to celebrate 17 years together. The irony made me want to puke, but I kept my game face on. Adriel found something big yesterday. Harold took out a HELOC against their primary home to help pay for the love nest with Caroline. That house is in both their names too, so he's leveraged to the hilt. If one house goes, they both might go. Financial house of cards. Been encouraging Caroline to use our credit card for anniversary prep. New dress, salon appointment, the works. She was hesitant at first, unusual for her since she normally loves spending. But I insisted. Told her I want her to feel special. Meanwhile, I've already frozen our joint accounts effective the day of our trip. The trap is almost set. Sam from Caroline's office has been feeding me intel. Apparently, Caroline and Harold have been sloppy lately, getting too comfortable. People have seen them together outside of work. Office gossip is heating up. Their boss, Lila, has noticed something's off with their time reporting. Caroline's been checking her phone constantly. Looks stressed. Yesterday, the dishwasher broke and flooded the kitchen floor. Normally, she'd freak out about the expense, but she barely reacted. Just stood there with this 1,000-yard stare while I mopped up. She's distracted, slipping. I've been testing her with small comments. Mentioned I might look into refinancing our house to pay for the kids' college since that fund isn't growing as fast as I'd hoped. She dropped a glass in the sink. Another time I asked if she'd ever considered buying an investment property nearby. Said I'd been browsing houses about 20 minutes away. The color drained from her face. Adriel and I finalized our coordinated plan yesterday. She's taking their kids to her mother's for the weekend. Same weekend as my anniversary trip. She'll confront Harold with everything while I'm confronting Caroline. We've timed it down to the hour. I rented a small storage unit. Been moving important documents and sentimental items there bit by bit. Got the kids' birth certificates, family photos, my grandfather's watch. Things I couldn't bear to lose in the fallout. Tonight was interesting. Caroline actually initiated sex for the first time in months. Probably guilt, or maybe she's trying to throw me off the scent. I went along with it but felt nothing, just mechanical. Afterwards, she tried to talk about our future. Asked if I ever think about retiring somewhere warm. Planning a future she's been actively sabotaging. The audacity is breathtaking. $167,842.76 plus interest. Every penny coming back to my kids. Just packed my bag for the anniversary trip. Caroline's in the shower, humming some song like she doesn't have a care in the world. Her suitcase is on the bed, half-packed. Designer clothes she bought while stealing from our children. My phone buzzed. Text from Adriel. All set for next weekend. Harold has no idea. Caroline's phone is sitting on the nightstand. Unlocked. Notification just popped up. Text from Work L. Harold. Can't wait for our real anniversary next month. Love you more than anything. I took a screenshot and sent it to my email. One more piece of evidence for the file. 9 days until demolition. The foundation is already cracking. Final update to my saga about my wife stealing $167,842.76 from our kids' college funds for her secret life. First voicemail, 11:32 a.m. Saturday. Bryson, please call me back. I can explain everything. Harold is saying you contacted his bank. What have you done? Call me back now. Second voicemail, 12:17 p.m. The hotel says our credit cards are declined. All of them. Why can't I access our accounts? Where are you? Third voicemail, 1:45 p.m. Adriel just showed up here. She knows everything. She's threatening to take the house. Please, Bryson. This is getting out of control. There were 11 more messages after that, each more desperate than the last. Let's back up. The anniversary weekend started according to plan. Friday evening, I picked Caroline up from work. She seemed distracted, checking her phone constantly, probably texting Harold. Our bags were already in the trunk. The kids were at my sister's place for the weekend. Told them we deserved some alone time for our anniversary, if they only knew. Drove to that fancy hotel downtown. Valet parking, champagne at check-in, the works. Caroline kept trying to act excited, but her smile never reached her eyes. Kept glancing at her phone, then trying to hide it when she noticed me watching. Dinner reservation was at 7. This overpriced steakhouse where they wheel out raw meat and explain each cut like it's rocket science. Caroline barely touched her $65 filet. Kept checking her phone under the table. I asked if everything was okay. She said work was stressful. Right. Back in the hotel suite, I ordered more champagne. Premium stuff. $400 a bottle. Might as well spend my money before she could steal more of it. Caroline was getting visibly anxious, especially when I kept toasting to family and our future together. At exactly 9:30 p.m., I pulled out my laptop, told her I had an anniversary gift to show her. Her face lit up for a second. Probably thought it was jewelry or vacation plans. Instead, I opened my spreadsheet, the one tracking every penny she stole, $167,842.76 plus $30,614.56 in lost interest. I still remember the exact moment she realized what she was looking at. The color drained from her face. She started with the standard denials. Must be some mistake. I don't know what you're talking about. What is this? I just kept scrolling through the entries. Date, amount, source, destination, all highlighted in different colors. 5 years of theft documented in excruciating detail. Then I pulled out the property record. Caroline and Harold Matheson, co-owners of 1472 Oak Ridge Lane, purchased 3 years ago with a down payment of exactly $165,000. Mortgage payments of $2,348 per month. She switched to bargaining, said she could explain, said Harold had pressured her, said it was an investment for all of us, said she was going to tell me eventually, said she'd pay it all back. I played the recording of my conversation with Adriel, the one where we compared notes about their deception. Caroline's eyes went wide when she heard Harold's wife's voice. Didn't know we'd connected. Then I showed her the screenshots of all her texts with Harold from the past month, the ones where they discussed their real life together once they both left their spouses, the ones where they complained about having to pretend with us, the ones where they planned trips using our money. Finally, I showed her the documentation I'd been preparing with my lawyer. No, I hadn't filed yet, but everything was ready. Financial affidavits, evidence of theft, proof of the affair, timeline of deception, all neatly organized in labeled folders. Caroline started crying. Not cute little tears, ugly sobbing, mascara running down her face. Kept saying she was sorry, that she loved me, that she'd made a terrible mistake, that we could fix this. I told her there were 3 options on the table. Option 1, sign over her equity in the love nest to me immediately. That's approximately $95,000 based on current value, minus remaining mortgage. Additionally, surrender her 401k, worth about $76,000, and agree to a payment plan for the remaining amount plus interest. Option 2, I file for divorce on Monday with all evidence attached. Press charges for financial fraud. Let her employer know about the time card fraud. Watch her lose her job, her reputation, and possibly face criminal charges. Option 3, same as option 2, but I also send everything to her parents, siblings, and our entire social circle via a detailed Facebook post. Complete nuclear option. While she was processing this, her phone started blowing up. Text after text from Harold. Seems Adriel was executing her part of the plan right on schedule. She'd shown up at their house with her own documentation and ultimatums. Caroline tried calling Harold. He didn't answer. Called 5 more times. Nothing. That's when she really fell apart. Realized he was cutting her loose to save himself. At 10:45 p.m., I walked out of the hotel room. Left her there surrounded by the evidence of her betrayal. Told her I'd be staying elsewhere and that she had until Monday morning to decide which option she preferred. Let her know all our joint credit cards and accounts were already frozen. Spent the night at a budget hotel across town. Slept better than I had in weeks. Woke up to those voicemails I mentioned. Meanwhile, Adriel texted updates from her confrontation with Harold. He'd apparently thrown Caroline under the bus immediately. Claimed she was the mastermind. That she'd manipulated him. Classic coward move. By Sunday afternoon, both Caroline and Harold were in full panic mode. Neither could access their main accounts. Both facing the loss of their homes. Both realizing their fantasy life was crumbling. Monday morning, Caroline chose option 1, smart move. Harold had already agreed to Adriel's terms as well, which included selling their love nest and splitting the proceeds with me. Over the next 3 weeks, we executed the financial recovery plan. Caroline signed a legally binding agreement transferring her equity in the love nest to me. She surrendered her 401k through a QDRO, Qualified Domestic Relations Order. We listed the house for sale, got multiple offers within days. Caroline moved in with her sister temporarily. I changed the locks on our family home. Caroline's name was removed from all our accounts. She signed a payment plan for the remaining balance, $27,242.76, payable at $500 per month for the next 5 years. The hardest part was telling the kids. Waited until all the financial arrangements were locked in, sat them down for a family meeting, didn't give them all the sordid details. Just explained that Mom had made some financial decisions that hurt our family, and that she would be living separately while we worked things out. Megan, being 16 and sharp as a tack, figured out more than I said. Asked directly if Mom had been cheating. I didn't lie to her. Jake took it harder. Thought it was somehow his fault. Had to reassure him repeatedly that none of this was about him. Both kids were shocked about the college money. That hit them hard, but I showed them the new accounts I'd set up, already partially refunded with the money from Caroline's 401k, promised them that their futures were secure again. The love nest sold for $535,000 last week. After paying off the mortgage, my share came to $97,352.41, transferred directly to the kids' new college accounts. Caroline's at a new job now. Entry-level position. Pays about half what she was making before. She's struggling to make ends meet, but making her monthly payments on time. Harold and Adriel are divorcing. He moved to an apartment across town. Lost his job too when Adriel reported the financial irregularities to his company. As for me, filed for divorce last month. Caroline didn't contest anything. Judge looked at the evidence and fast-tracked the process. Should be final in 60 days. Some nights I still wake up angry, thinking about those 5 years of lies. The family vacations we didn't take because we couldn't afford it, while she was funneling money to her secret life. The times I worked overtime to contribute to the kids' funds, not knowing she was emptying them behind my back. But most days, I focus on rebuilding. Fixed that leaky faucet in the upstairs bathroom that's been dripping for months. Painted the living room. Megan and I are looking at colleges online. Jake's grades are improving again. Caroline sees the kids every other weekend. Awkward exchanges in the driveway. She's lost weight. Looks tired. Sometimes I catch her staring at the house like she can't believe she threw it all away. Yesterday, I checked the college fund balances. $173,694.12 total. Still short of where we should be, but growing steadily. Every penny accounted for. Every transaction documented. The way it always should have been. Final tally of recovered funds so far, $173,694.12 out of the $198,457.32 owed with interest. Still got those monthly payments coming in for the next 5 years. You better believe I track each one. Sometimes karma needs a little help with the accounting.